Hey, well, it's time for one of those famous Sloth recap videos. We're still in the reality series. Tonight we were taught by Mr. Richard Barrett on the subject of sloth.
Sloth is something that we could all, we always poke fun of the lazy person. We always poke fun of the person that's just, the couch potato, like one of the pictures that we showed tonight. But it's still something that affects all of us, that we all have in us. So I really, studying it really helped me, and I hope I was able to share that and convey that message to the students. The A in Acedia means absence. Cedia means caring. So it's an absence of caring, which I think is it's a definition that hits the word sloth right on the head. So it's an apathy. It's the not wanting to do good works for the definition of the sin of sloth. It's just not wanting to get out there and do good works.
And so it sounds like leisure and relaxing by themselves aren't bad, but that sloth has this association of just not caring at all.
Yeah, not caring at all, and not caring at all to the point of where you just overdo the laziness. You overdo the not doing. You just have no desire to care, to put forth any kind of effort to get things done. Paul's letter to the Romans, and that was a Christian that was not slothful. I mean, his entire life, that cat was gave it 110%, even when he was in prison. Don't just pretend to love others, really love them. Hate what is wrong, hold tight to what is good. Love each other with genuine affection. Never be lazy. Work hard and serve the Lord with enthusiasm. Rejoice in our confident hope. Be patient in trouble and keep on praying. And I like this last verse especially. When God's people are in need, be ready to help them. Always be eager to practice that hospitality. And then that just sums up to me the opposite of being slothful. I walked by the field of the lazy person, the vineyard of one with no common sense, and I saw that it was overgrown with nettles. It was covered with weeds, as if its walls were broken down. I looked at it and thought about it, and I learned this lesson. A little extra sleep, a little more slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest. Then poverty will pounce on you like a bandit, and scarcity will attack you like an armed robber. To me, that spoke about if you don't take care of your yard, if you don't take care of your field, and grow the seeds that you planted, you're not going to reap the harvest. But all that takes work, all that takes effort, all that takes caring. And if you're not going to do that, you're missing out. You're going to miss out on the joy of a good harvest.
Now, you mentioned also in the lesson a couple of sort of practical things that we could keep in mind to resist sloth.
The first one I thought was great. Remember to keep holy the Lord's Day. God commanded us in the early books of the Bible to work 6 days a week and rest on the seventh. He didn't say rest 7 days and work one. He doesn't want us to rest and rest and rest and rest and rest. He does not want us to be slothful. He wants us to work 6 days and rest on the seventh. He wants us to take that one day, give him thanks for it, but also to take that day off to recharge ourselves. The commandment says, remember to keep holy the Lord's Day. I think that, God phrased it like that because we have a tendency to forget. And we have a tendency to overdo things, and we can overdo the slothfulness. We can overdo the taking the time off. And he does not want us to forget to work the 6 days and keep that seventh day his. Oh, the second thing was to make a list, make a checklist, and we have a, our time is precious. The checklist helps me to get those things done and not get sidetracked by other distractions or things that come up that aren't important to what I want to accomplish. And I use the example of the Nike Just Do It swoosh, because I know the students could relate to that. And I know when I have my checklist and I get something done, I put that little swoosh or that checklist, that check right next to that item, and then I can move on to the next task. And then the third thing was to create or cultivate good works. Going back to that verse in Proverbs, if you're working your field, you're going to grow, and you're growing good works. I think it's important to not have that apathy of not wanting to get involved. You can't expect others to do it. You can't say, I'm not going to worry about it, I'm going to let somebody else take care of it. It's our responsibility to get these things done. And we've got to care enough and have that desire, that want to do those things. We can't let somebody else worry about it and take care of it. If we want to get it done, we've got to do it.
Yeah, and I know that here in South Tampa especially, a lot of us are over-programmed. I know that especially the youth in this group, you've got practices for plays, for sports, clubs that you're in, events that you're helping plan, just all this stuff that you're doing. And so I think with Sloth, maybe the takeaway is really look at the work that you're doing right now. Is it something that you're taking joy in? Something that you can really be diligent about? Or is it just something else to check off the list in a negative way? Or does it become routine?
It's got to be good works to me. Now, good works alone is not going to get you into heaven. Of course, we all know that. But it's got to be the desire to do the good works, the caring.
Yeah, and if you have found yourself in that situation where you can't find that motivation, that passion is gone out of your life, getting out of bed is difficult, applying yourself is difficult, that's sloth. There's an entire team of leaders here at this church that want to talk to you about that and help you through it. Now, one thing you also mentioned as you were closing up, just some of the places that we see sloth, like especially here in our own group. Would you care to talk about that a little?
Yeah, our students do a good job. We've got a children's ministry, and I know when Miss Dina comes up and asks for volunteers, we always get the volunteers to help out with that. So I encourage the students to keep on doing that. But we have opportunities. We need young people to hand out bulletins on Sunday mornings, and I know the older folks like me. They love to come to church, and if they see the young people handing out the bulletins, that's going to cheer them up. We've got a big spring revival coming up in April, and I was just encouraging the students to take out some flyers and let's go go out as a group and knock on doors in the neighborhood and pass these flyers out, encouraging our church neighbors to come join us and see what Bayshore Baptist is all about. See what this revival is going to look like. Tom, our youth pastor here, he does an awesome job organizing events, organizing service projects for the church and for the neighboring ministries that are going on around us here in South Tampa.
As far as upcoming events, with our particular group, with the youth here, the main thing is just we're still cleaning up this space. We're still getting the loft organized, repainted, so there's nothing set in stone right now in terms of dates, but if you ever find yourself with an afternoon to kill and would like to help put another couple of coats of paint on the wall, text me, shoot me a Facebook message, we'll make it happen. In addition, Richard mentioned the revival coming up and also Easter. It's going to be a big couple of weeks here at Bayshore. I'll put up some information about that after the video. And lastly, closing out, I hope you'll remember that here at Bayshore and here in this loft, we love you and we're praying for you. And I hope that you're praying for us as well. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.